The outer shell will come with 5 parts: a back piece, a top piece, you'll know it's the top because it has this little cutout here, a bottom piece, and your 2 side walls. To begin assembly, we'll take the bottom piece and one of our side pieces. Now the flat edge of the bottom piece and the flat edge of the side piece should be facing the same direction. That is how we know the inner shell will slide in easily. We'll go ahead and take some wood glue. Just like with all of our products, we do recommend using wood glue when assembling to help with the durability and longevity of the product. We'll take a little bit of glue, put some into all the cavities of the cutouts here. However you like to do this glue, totally up to you. Because our bottle has a nice little tip to it, it's easier for us to kind of keep a small amount moving on to the product. We are aware some wood glue bottles do tend to have larger flat spouts. A good way to do that also is just to spread some glue on a paper plate or paper towel, then take a Q-tip almost like a paintbrush and just kind of rub it into the crevices. But go ahead and insert those as such. The step I like to take next is then to flip it up, and we'll take our back piece, make sure that's all in all the way, and we'll insert the back piece next. Why I like to do this is it just adds a little bit of additional structural integrity to it right off the bat, and to help keep those proper 90-degree angles so that everything slides in well. Take our back piece, and that will be inserted next, like so. You can use that paper towel as well just to wipe off any excess glue that may seep out the sides. And if you do have Q-tips, you can use a Q-tip to wipe off any glue on the inside as well that may come out. Really nice way to keep everything looking really clean. We'll go ahead and we'll take our next side piece, again making sure that that flat edge lines up with the other flat edges. A little bit of glue. Everything up, get it pushed in there nice and tight. Those creaking sounds are fine, it's just the wood. The way these things are cut is very tight to each other, so don't fear that that's causing any damage. You'll definitely know if you're pushing it too hard to cause damage. Lastly, we'll go ahead and take the top piece, and just as we have with the others, dab a little glue. You'll see I'm just doing every other slot, totally up to you again. It's just however much glue you'd like to add to it to keep it steady. Take our top piece, and that should drop in there real nice on the border. And just so we've done in the past, quick wipe with paper towel to remove any excess glue on the outside. And if you see any on the inside, Q-tip, just reach in there and slide it down the crack to pull and leave the excess glue out. Squeeze around the edges, and that is the outer shell complete for now. And we'll put this aside, and now we'll build the inside part. All right, now that we have the outer shell built, we'll go ahead and build the inside part. If you want to, you can lay your pieces out like so as well, just to get everything organized in your head. But the pieces you'll have, these pieces up front here, will be the front plate / locking mechanism. So go ahead and slide those out of the way. You'll have, this is the bottom floor piece that we're gonna be building most things off of. A couple side walls, a front and a back wall, drawer parts, and some shelving floors and top. I wanna first talk about the drawers. You will get 3 sets of drawers in your game shell. They will each have a floor, 2 side walls, a front wall, and a back wall. You will have 3 sets of those. I've actually pre-built 2 of the drawers just to save some time instead of having to build it 3 times over in this video. But we'll go ahead and we'll build the 3rd one so that you can see how those are done. we're gonna go ahead and take our floor piece. There is a specific direction this floor piece does need to face. You'll see these edges here. One has just a slightly longer section versus a shorter section. This longer section like that is gonna be one of the sides. So we'll take one of our side pieces. Side pieces have these two little knobs on the side. Put a little bit of glue, side of it like that, and just go ahead and push it down into the sidewall. We can then flip this guy up like such, and we will now attach the next part. You'll notice on the drawers, there is a little tab that sticks out. The direction that tab faces is very important, as they are designed to only fit in one way in the shell. And the reason that tab is there is just to give yourself a little bit of finger grab to pull the drawers out. Otherwise it would be all flush and you wouldn't be able to get the drawers out. So it is very important that that tab does face the correct direction. So when we put it down, we can see the tab should be facing this way. So the tab, when looking directly at the drawer, the tab should be sticking out on the left-hand side. So we'll take that, fit it in, and then make sure that those tabs are facing the same way. And then we'll just go around, pop on the back piece. Over the other side. Again, I'm being quite liberal with the glue. Part of it is at speed, part of it is easy to then just wipe off any excess when you're done to clean it up so it looks good. Again, you can take a Q-tip just to run through the gaps on the inside to pull any glue out. But there is our third drawer. So we'll go ahead and put these aside for the moment. We will now begin the base construction of the inner part. We're going to start with the floor piece and kind of base everything off of this. With the floor piece, you'll notice a bunch of holes on here. This is the front, and then there's a flat edge here. This is going to be where the stand for the drawers goes, and we're going to start building on this. You'll have one piece like this. This will be the middle wall. Only one side of it has those two knobs, so it's pretty easy to determine which side goes into that. So we'll go ahead, add some glue to it, and begin building off of it. These next few steps just require a little bit more dexterity to put in. It's not difficult, it's still very easy to do by yourself, so don't feel worried about it. Just takes a little extra holding on to a few things as we line stuff up, but it's quite simple. We're then going to take these two pieces here. Very important of note, there's a third piece that looks almost identical. However, on the back, it has 3 knobs versus these 2 larger ones. Set this one aside, the one with 3, as that is going to be the top section to this that we will put on later. So again, make sure you're looking for the one that has those 3, and put it aside for now. We just want the ones that have the 2, okay? So we will now take these, add some glue, and we'll insert them as such, making note of the flat edge also lines up with the flat edge of the bottom. Add your glue, slide it in. Sorry, add your glue, slide it in. Again, any excess glue, simply just take a Q-tip or something to wipe it out. All right, now for the step that just takes a little bit more work, we're gonna take this piece here, making note of these 3 large indents. These 3 large indents will be facing the front of your game shell. This is going to be the part where when the drawers slide in, the tab fits into it so that you have an easy little finger grab to pull the drawers out, okay? So, as I said, this one just takes a little bit more work, but not too bad. Add your glue, And then we're gonna take this guy, again, making sure the side's facing forward. We're gonna go ahead and line these up. I find it easiest to start on the top, line up those 3 holes, push them in, line up the second level of holes, pop those in, and then lastly it should fit into the bottom quite easily. Wipe off any of that glue, boom. Now's the hardest step, not too bad. From here we can then pop on that top piece that I set aside earlier. Adding our glue and dropping that in. All right. We are almost there. Okay, so once that's all in there and squared up, we can actually set that aside just for a moment because we're gonna now do the first step of the locking mechanism. So we're going to need the piece that has the etching and the one with this odd shaped cutout. Very important to note on this cutout that this odd shape needs to be in the correct direction, otherwise it will throw off the pictures down here and confuse you. So one side has a much larger cutout. That larger cutout should be on the same side as the unlocked diagram. Okay, like that. So I typically will just add a little bit of glue to the back of it before I put it on there. You don't have to do this. These are designed to fit in quite tightly. This is just something I do to help with the durability. So once you do that, make sure it's all squared up as best as you can. And then quickly, because you have added glue to these pieces now, before they solidify too much, we're gonna go ahead and drop it now into the front of the game shell like that. Okay, it's important you do this quickly because these need to be lined up in the correct direction. Awesome. All right, now that we're at this step, we're gonna go ahead and take our game shell and lay it down so the front is down on the table. We'll take our large back plate and install this one next. So a little bit of glue. Don't feel a need to have to put glue into every nook and cranny as you're setting it. It's very strong stuff. A little bit goes a long way. All right, we're gonna take this back plate, line it up, and then just begin the process of working everything down into place. All right. Those sounds are normal. These are cut and designed to fit very tightly. So pushing it in, those creaking sounds is just the wood slotting into those spots nicely. Just a quick wipe down for any excess glue. We're almost there. Q-tip, wipe out any of that excess. Cool. All right, now we can flip it face up and do the same thing with our front plate. A little bit of glue. Quick cleanup, pulling out any excess glues, just like that. All right, and we are on to the final step. Final step now will be inserting the actual locking mechanism pieces. This is all the magic, these two little pieces. So we're gonna take our L-shaped piece, like such, drop it into that bottom part so that it fits into that larger opening like that and can slide left to right. We'll then take this other piece, oops, put it right in top like that, and there's a locking mechanism. So when it's unlocked, you'll see both of the unlocked shapes. When it's locked, so when that's slid up and that's slid over, You see the two locking shapes are there, and this little tab protrudes out the top a little bit, and that little tab is what's going to catch into that and hold it in place. So we'll go ahead and leave it like that, and we can just take a little bit of glue, dab some around there, take the front plate, get it in there all good and tight, so that the glue sets. Take our drawers that we built, throw those in.